Hello, welcome to the Honest Abe Show. I am Honest Abe, your host, here today with abolitionist leader Frederick Douglass.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, Abe. I'd like to thank you for this great opportunity to share my experiences with this great nation.
Oh, it is my pleasure to have you here. Correct me if I'm wrong, you did write a book.
Yes, it is called The Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an
Oh, that's
American
you.
slave.
That's you. What was your inspiration for writing this book?
It all started back when I was born into slavery. And as I grew older and wiser, I had come to the realization of the hardships faced by slaves.
Ah, truly inspirational. Would you take us through a tour of your novel?
Absolutely.
Huh.
The
Yes.
novel starts off with my first recollection of my childhood. I cannot positively say my age, and I have no documentation of my birth or my biological father. And I have only seen my mother four to five times in my life. And I share these experiences with many other slaves, as it was common to keep us uneducated and ignorant.
Wow, truly horrible. Could you enlighten us on the origins of the abolitionist movement, maybe? Yeah. And how you came to be such an influential leader within this movement itself?
Absolutely. The most prominent factor in leading to the abolitionism movement was the poor treatment of slaves and the horrid events that took place during slave auctions. This can be seen in Uncle Tom's Cabin, written by Harriet Beecher Stowe. We'll get to her later on.
Oh, of course. She was such a great figure in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to the poor treatment of slaves, many were abused and had very healthy and small living conditions.
Were there any others who had such a large influence in the abolitionist movement, along with Harriet Beecher Stowe and yourself?
Well, some of the great importance I know is David Walker.
Davy Crockett.
He wrote one of the most powerful pieces of propaganda written by a black person. His book, Appeal to the Colored Citizens of the World, written in 1829, encouraged slaves to revolt against their masters.
Is there anyone else who you would like to mention to us? Because the great nation of America is watching right now. And you have this great opportunity to share your story.
Well, first off, we have Sojourner Truth, who was a free black woman.
Oh yes, do tell more.
Yes, you see, Sojourner, born in 18.
What a lovely name.
Yes, yes,
First name basis, are you?
yes, yes.
That is just divine.
I know.
Continue on.
So,
They're all eager to listen.
Yes, Sojourner Truth, she fought for both the black rights and women's rights. So she was a very big figure in this movement, as well as the women's rights movements. A white abolitionist, he's known as William Lloyd Garrison. Now, this man met in Philadelphia with 60
Really?
of 60 of his fellow delegates.
Wow, that's a large number.
And now, he held this meeting for the American Anti-Slavery Society. And during this meeting, the men denounced slavery as a sin that needed to be ended.
Well, most do see it as a sin, unless you're from the South, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then it's a blessing,
Yeah.
but a curse at the same time.
Indeed.
In your opinion, would you say that the idea of abolitionism inflamed the tensions leading to the start of the Civil War?
Well, with tensions increasing in America from the
And that they
abolitionist
were.
movement, the idea of the Civil War became nearly unanimous, and secession was near. Now, before the Civil War, in a period, we call it the antebellum period.
The antebellum period?
Yes, antebellum.
And how did it get that name?
Well, you see, the root is ante, which means before,
Mm.
and then bellum is war, yes, surprising.
Nice.
And so that's how it came to get the antebellum period name.
Continue on.
So before the Civil War, the idea of abolitionism thrived, and the North was in favor of it, but the South strongly opposed it, fearing and that it would ruin their economy run by slaves, obviously.
Oh, well, of course. When you have such a plantation-run economy, who else would do the work?
Not the whites, that's for sure.
I also do agree with how the abolitionist movement affected the Civil War. But do you feel the Civil War could have been prevented in any way possible?
You know, in my personal opinion,
Yes, personal.
I do not believe so.
No?
No, and this is
Oh, I feel the same way. That's so cool.
well, you know what?
Continue.
This
Straight face mode.
This is why. You see, the tensions are too damn high.
The tensions were too damn high.
Indeed, they were, and war became inevitable.
Inevitable.
There was no possible way to
Alright,
avoid
so now we know about the impact the abolitionist movement had on the Civil War. But what I'd really like to know is, what was its impact on society itself?
Well, you know, the abolitionist movement. Well, hold on. Before I get to this,
Mhm.
the North and South were already split due to many things, such as the Missouri Compromise, Compromise of 1850, Kansas Nebraska Act, Bleeding Kansas. So you know, it was already a little bit, you know, split.
Yeah.
And so
I
this-
know.
this
so if you
ab-
got like one up here, you got it down here.
Yeah,
The line in between. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get it going here.
So the abolitionist movement, basically, you know, it was like the crowbar that just pried the Union apart. And basically, it split the Union even more than it already was.
Yes.
You know, it also caused many abolitionists in the North, obviously, to hold meetings for anti-slavery ideas. And you know, these meetings are very similar to the American Anti-Slavery Society meetings, as William Lloyd Garrison held with his 60 delegates in Philadelphia, as we heard before.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for sharing your lovely story with us. It was quite an inspiration. Oh.
Oh, indeed, it was my pleasure. You know, it was my pleasure.
I have pinkies up. Do you have any sense of manners? I should hit you for that.
I'm sorry.
Do you not realize we're on national television? People in California are watching.
They're too busy mining for gold, so.
Mining for gold? Oh! Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. Tune in next week to see Harriet Tubman's intense visions of the Underground Railroad on The Honest Abe Show.